So this is a peculiar story, and I have no idea how I came across this, but to me, I thought it was actually quite interesting. Now, many of you've probably played Astrobot. I haven't played it. I won't play it. It's not my type of game. But I saw something about Square Enix refusing to approve the character bots for the game. Now, if you've played the game, I've seen a lot of images. And by the way, I did not watch any gameplay because, again, like I said, it's probably a game I'll buy for my kids. And so when they're playing it, I'd like to watch it then. And apparently, Team Asobi wanted to have Final Fantasy VII character in Astrobot, according to MP First, but Square Enix did not approve it. Collab picks based on positive impression and genuine nostalgia. So apparently, this did not, work out in terms of getting a Final Fantasy character in here, Final Fantasy VII character. Now, could it be that Square Enix is probably not paying attention to the possible opportunity that this could have given their game in terms of marketing? It was possibly Cloud. For those of you who've played, Final Fantasy, you know who that character is. It could also be that, they probably didn't want to go ahead and deal with a lot of the, approvals and all of that. They just did not need any more paperwork in their own coffers. Or, and you guys are probably waiting for this theory, they probably just don't want to have anything to do with PlayStation advancing their own business and using them as some kind of an agency at the end of the day. And this is a reality that we have to point out, ladies and gentlemen, because, you know, Square Enix, I think they've done, some really serious business with PlayStation. Nobody is minimizing that. But at the end of the day, I think if it still brings me back to this whole conversation that, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, you really got to give it to them, man. They have basically put their games on the line for PlayStation to grow. Now, they had their benefits. Let's not make it seem like they're a charitable organization. This is Square Enix, by the way, right? So with all that, in perspective, I think they probably just looked and said, "Nah, there's no need for us to be able to, to go ahead and do business like this." And to be very honest, I don't think, that this is the case. I mean, I just gave you three different hypotheses, but I thought it was interesting that we actually did take a look at that because, if you think about it, right now they're in a spot where they're moving away from the exclusivity deals. But the exclusivity deals is not necessarily PlayStation's fault. They signed the fine print. When they saw the money, they were the ones who said, yeah, we're going to go in there. And, we're going to deal with, we're going to take the risk and get money from PlayStation and still keep ourselves in a position where we're okay. However, they just never really enjoyed and advanced as far as, say, other companies would have loved, did actually when they actually went multi-platform with their games. And so they left room. They basically created a vacuum for, a lot of video games of that style in the industry. I mean, think about all of the games that came out afterwards and all of the games that are coming out right now. If we actually go back and look at some like Elden Ring, that went multiplat. It gave an opportunity for people who were probably craving action RPGs of different magnitudes, the opportunity to go ahead and play a game like that. And now they're actually in that ecosystem, in that loop. A game like Black Myth Wukong also came out. That game is on PC and has allowed for people who may have craved games like that to also be into that ecosystem. Then Lies of P came out, a game that also is a hack and slash, provided a lot of fun for a lot of people who wanted to play games like that. And so the missed opportunity is there, and I'm not surprised that they're probably not going that direction at the moment, or they probably refuse to go that direction, at the time being. So this is very interesting at the end of the day as a story to go ahead and take into account based on what's going on right now with Square Enix and how they're starting to pivot and how they're changing their business model based on how they did not necessarily meet the metrics that they would have loved to meet when it came down to, selling their games on the PlayStation platform exclusively. What's even interesting, and I know this is kind of an odd time that I'm recording this video in the day, but Final Fantasy 16 has also continued to see, concurrent player drops, and the game just recently came out. Again, I think this is the effect of the, so-called exclusivity thing, finally waning away. Again, I think somebody made, in fact, one of the best comments I've seen in regards to a game coming to a platform later. They said The Last of Us Part 2, and this is in regard to a PlayStation game, has been out for a number of years. Even the remaster has also been out, but all these years, they never have bothered to actually move the ports to the PC platform. For some reason, PlayStation thinks it's kind of a novelty, but This person said they would love to play the game, but having watched a lot of the gameplay footage and all that, by the time the game shows up, PlayStation is probably going to be asking you for 49 or $50. You're not going to be too, impressed to want to pay $50 for a game that you were craving years back. And so even though Final Fantasy 16 had a very short window, did not stay as long as that, it's still facing the financial challenge. And what's crazy is it doesn't even require the PlayStation login, requirement as well. It's because it's a third-party game, and I'm sure somebody would come out, and a lot of people are saying that, well, it's because the games have actually lost a lot of quality, and this is probably why a lot of people didn't buy them on PlayStation. And even PC players might even be able to say the same thing. We saw that the quality was probably not where we would like for it to be, so we're not, too keen on buying it at the price that they're asking. So there are just a lot of things here that need to be pointed out when it comes to the Square Enix debacle. And I strongly believe, in my perspective, that it's best for them to actually go their way, face the market head on, and not, wait for PlayStation to subsidize their games and subsidize what it is that they're trying to do in terms of getting their games exclusive, and so that they can compete and understand the areas that they actually, face, challenges, and the areas that they actually have any weaknesses. And so I think this is probably where you're going to continue to see Square Enix go. And it was hard for me not to actually start thinking about all of that when I saw this particular report. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching the video. I really appreciate you guys' time and audience. And shout out to Hazardor Gaming, Dragon of Dojima, always bringing these articles to our, purview. Appreciate you all so much. Thanks again. Peace out.